Okay, guys, so this is our unit for today, and so we're learning about grams and kilograms. Now, this is a little hard because you don't actually have grams and kilograms in front of you, and I could not send one of these nifty scales home with you so that you could weigh things on your own. I'm sorry about that. So, what I did ask you to do is you were going to look at the Brain Pop Junior video about grams and kilograms. And this will explain to you about them, right? And what the big difference is. And we'll go over that right now as well. So this is a scale, and this is usually how we weigh things. Now, when you put things on the side of the scale, if it's uneven, it'll tip. You can tell which thing is heavier because it'll be farther down on the ground. When we're weighing two things, we can tell which one is heavier by doing that. Also, if we have a scale, we can take already pre-measured weights, these are weights, and we can add them to one side to figure out how much something weighs. So right here we have a pen, and I decided I think a pen probably weighs 10 grams. I'll put that on the side and see if I'm right. And see, 10 grams isn't enough or is too much. So I'd have to pick something else. And luckily for me, I also could try 5 grams. Whew. And 5 grams is also too much. So this is what you would do to try and figure out how much something weighs. So I'm going to put 1 gram pieces in until we get to the right amount. So that was 3, 4, oh, so 5 is too much and 4 was not enough. So it's just about the right amount. So now I showed you a little bit about how a scale works. And since you guys don't have one of those, you just really need to know what the heck is a gram and what the heck is a kilogram. A kilogram is big and a gram is small. So this is a gram and it weighs about the same as a paperclip. Now, does a gram weigh a lot? No, not really. If it weighs about the same as a paperclip, it doesn't weigh much at all. So that's a gram. And this is a kilogram. You know why I call it a kilogram? Because it's killing my arm. It's so heavy. A kilogram is really big. And a kilogram is 1,000 grams. It's 1,000 of these in this. And I'd let you touch this because it's actually really heavy. It's like full of something very heavy. This is a kilogram and this is a gram. So if I wanted to weigh, let's see, a pen, I would use grams or kilograms. Right, if we were going to weigh a pen, we'd use grams, right? Because a pen is kind of light. If we were going to weigh Miss Lawrence, would we use grams or would we use kilograms? We'd probably use kilograms because it would take an awful lot of grams to weigh a person. And a kilogram, yeah, you could probably use some of these to figure out how much Miss Lawrence weighs. So when we're weighing light things, we use a gram. And when we're weighing heavier things, we use a kilogram. Okay? So that's what we have to remember. And like I said, I remember kilogram because it's killing my arm. Oh, it's so heavy. Kilogram is extra heavy. So let's take a second to go into our worksheet and see what we have to do today. Okay, so this is what our worksheet looks like. And all you really have to do for this is figure out whether or not we need to use kilograms to weigh the thing or grams to weigh the thing. And a good way to think about grams, remember, it's the same weight as a paper. So when we're looking, the first thing it has for us is a strawberry. Now, are we going to use this to measure a strawberry? What is this again? I forgot. This is like bigger than a strawberry. This is a kilogram. So this is obviously overkill. If we use this to weigh a strawberry, we would squish the strawberry first. So we're not going to use kilograms to weigh a strawberry. What are we going to use instead? We are going to use these little guys called grams. So all you have to do is write grams. The next one, a dog, are we going to use grams or kilograms? Now, this is not a tiny teacup dog, is it? It's a bulldog. So it's going to be a little bit heavier than a teacup dog. So are we going to use kilograms or grams? Yeah, we're going to use kilograms because it's heavier. Okay? So you just got to reason in your head what makes more sense. What is going to be heavier and what is going to be lighter? Let's go ahead and look at the rest of the page. So here we're going to compare and contrast the weights of objects. And you just have to tell me which one's going to weigh more by looking at the scale. And remember, when we look at the scale, here, I'll show you. Last time I did this, it broke. If it is straight, which I don't know why this isn't straight, but if it was straight, that means they're the same. If it's tipped to one side, whatever side is lower is the side that's going to weigh more, okay? And they have the same type of scale on the page in front of us. So we don't even really have to guess that much because we can already see the scale in the picture. So when we're looking at this scale right here, is this scale straight or is it slanted? You could even draw a line to help you. This scale is slanted, right? So we know one object weighs more than the other. When we're looking at this, the mass of the bowling pin is more or less than the chess piece. Because it's slanted down on this side, we know that the bowling pin definitely weighs more. Now, when we look at the next one, draw a line again. This one's straight across. Remember, what does it mean when it's straight and it's not bending to one side or the other? Yeah, it means that they are the same or equal. So the mass of the erasers is equal the mass of the clips, okay? And then at the bottom of the page, you are just going to figure out, am I using a kilogram or a gram? Am I using a kilogram or a gram? Am I using a kilogram or a gram? I'm not doing these for you. You can do those on your own. And then here, it's the same thing. You're going to compare the weights of the objects. Is it the same, more, or less? And over here, the same. Is it the same, more, or less? Okay? So you're going to either, and you'll look at the top of the scale for that. For the next page, we're going a little bit deeper, and you're going to think about these objects we have here. We have a bowling ball, a tennis ball, a baseball, a table tennis ball, which is a ping pong ball, and a golf ball. What order do you think these would be from greatest to least? Right? Which one's going to weigh the most, guys? Think about it. Oh, yeah. The bowling ball is definitely going to weigh the most. So we're going to put a 1 in the middle of my bowling ball. So we know bowling balls are pretty darn heavy. I know for a fact that a bowling ball is heavier than this. Probably a couple of kilos. Okay, so the bowling ball is number 1. Which one of these balls do you think is going to be the lightest? So which one's going to be number 5? The table tennis ball or the ping pong ball, because it's hollow. It is just plastic, like a very thin amount of plastic. Now we have to think in our head, which one of these is going to weigh more? What is the one that weighs the most next? And for this, because you don't have the balls, you're just going to have to guess as good as you can. I am going to guess that the baseball weighs more than the tennis ball because I know the baseball has cork in the middle and a tennis ball just has rubber in the middle. And I'm going to guess the golf ball weighs less than the tennis ball. So after you figured out which one weighs the most and the least, you're going to write them in order on your worksheet. Okay, so I didn't quite have enough space, and you guys might not either. So just do your best to write them in order. Then we have to finish the rest of this page, okay? So it says here in the directions, use diagrams. Choose two objects that have about the same mass. Draw a balance with one of these objects on both sides. Okay, so we have a little bit of space here, and we could probably draw a balance right there. So the balance isn't as tricky as you think. And remember, it has to have the same mass on both sides. So we know that our balance needs to be straight across at the top. Right? What two objects do you think weigh about the same? I think an eraser and a pen weigh about the same. So that's what I would do for number 12, and then I'll label it number 12. For number 13, choose two objects that have different masses. So this one, is our balance going to have a straight, or is it going to have like a tilted? It's going to have a tilted one. So I'm going to draw it over here. It's going to be super tilted, because I want to make sure Miss Lawrence knows that I know what I'm talking about. Okay? And I'm going to put over here maybe a shoe. And then over here, what weighs less than a shoe? A spoon. Okay? And this is number 13. All right, write a problem about the objects you chose in number 13. So I chose a spoon and a shoe. Then solve your problem. Okay, so I would write, my problem is which weighs more? A spoon or a shoe? All right, so that's my problem. That's easy peasy. You just gotta write which weighs more and then pick your two objects. And which one weighs more, guys? The answer is shoe. So you add your answer in. All right, and for the last one, we're talking about nonsense or sense. You just gotta really think in your head, what makes sense? It doesn't make sense that a strawberry weighs 5 kilograms. No, so you just gotta use your brain a little bit for this one. Amber is buying produce at the grocery store. She says that a Fuji apple and a green bell pepper would have the same mass because they're the same size. Does her statement make sense? Think about it, guys. A bell pepper and an apple. You have held both of these at some time. Are they going to be the same weight? No. Why aren't they going to be the same weight? You know why? Bell peppers are hollow. So when you cut open a bell pepper, you got all this space on the inside. When you cut open an apple, do you have all that space on the inside? If you have space on the inside, you got a rotten apple. You want to throw it out. So an apple is going to weigh more or less than the bell pepper. It's going to weigh more because it's just got more stuff inside of it. So does her statement make sense? No. Right? Because bell peppers are hollow. Right? So they weigh less. Okay? That's all you have to do for today. If you have any trouble, just go ahead and call me up. I got a scale here. We can try some stuff out at my house. I don't have everything in the world though. So we can try stuff out and work it out together though. All right. You have a good rest of your day.